And a very good morning to you. And a very good morning. Hello, hello, hello. He forgot to punch the button. Very good morning to you, Grenada. Today happens to be the 18th day, yes, the 18th day of September. Not a bad looking morning so far. Let us begin. With some words of wisdom here, we shall begin with a short passage from the book of Matthew chapter 7, verses 1 and 2. It says, "Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you too will be judged. And with the measure that you use, it will be measured to you." Matthew 7, verses 1 and 2. How seriously, my dear friends, let's get right into it. How seriously should we take the Integrity Commission? That's the caption of an opinion piece which was sent to me over the past few days, and it is published on the GrenadaBroadcast.com website, written by civil society activist Ray Roberts. Here goes. The Integrity Commission shall best protect its credibility and image by appointing a former High Court judge or someone of great standing to investigate the hotly debated corruption allegations at the Marketing and National Importing Board, MNIB, rather than it undertaking the job. No one is disputing the legality of the Integrity Commission to investigate the matter. The Parliament gave it powers to conduct investigations into state institutions and public officials. However, perception is often reality, and public sentiment is negative against the Commission undertaking that responsibility. The most glaring concern is that the most influential personalities in that commission are much too close to the government. The chairman of the Integrity Commission is the spouse of the government's chief legal advisor, who is the Attorney General. And even more alarming is that the head of the accounting firm which audits the annual accounts of the MNIB is also a member of the Commission. Although the chairman of the Integrity Commission said that the gentleman has recused himself and will play no part in the investigation, nevertheless, his company's work at the MNIB will surely be scrutinized and feature prominently in the probe. Quoting the Organization of American States and UN Conflict of Interest protocols, the chairman of the commission, Lady Ananda Trotman Joseph, claims that they are following established and accepted international practice. Also an attorney at law, the goodly lady noted that in small nations such as ours, where relationships between people are commonplace, we have to trust each other rather than speculate even before the investigation is completed. Her latter comment regarding relationships makes her Integrity Commission's decision to undertake this investigation dangerous, and depending on the outcome, will all but destroy the reputation of another state institution. Lady Trotman boasts that her commission has highly respected religious leaders and others on it, but that's no comfort in today's Grenadian society. Our trust in state-appointed officials is fading, and this case involves people attached to the political hierarchy. Even more intriguing is the perception that the government has chosen a new chairman of the MNIB, whose track record regarding the collapsed Garden Group, a company of small guest houses and hotels, is still being debated. The million-dollar question is why would the Integrity Commission want to put itself in a position where its credibility is linked to the politics of the day? There is absolutely nothing to be gained from undertaking this investigation. It is surely a losing gamble. The politics of this investigation begins with the Prime Minister announcing that he will appoint a committee, and subsequently backpedaling, claiming that this government-appointed Integrity Commission has the legal authority to conduct the investigation. Why this sudden change? The personality at the center of the allegations is currently a die-hard party crusader earning a monthly salary of $15,000 with political ambition for 2023. The government and the Integrity Commission would have earned more public respect had they appointed a retired OECS judge to undertake this investigation. The individual nominated, given the term of reference with which the public is aware, would have minimized the perception of a political cover-up. In conclusion, what are the terms of reference being used by the Integrity Commission to determine its case? Why isn't it made public? Yes, it has broad powers given to it by Parliament, but we all most definitely want to know the specifics of this investigation. And does it have a time range, like 6 months, a year, or forever? The sad story in all of this is that much of our Grenadian population is asleep, accepting any old thing. Let's hope the Integrity Commission's investigation is credible. As I mentioned to you, that piece was sent to me by Ray Roberts. And by the way, Ray is going to be here in just a few minutes, and we're going to be having a chat with him. He wasn't last week because he'd been traveling a bit. He's been on the road, and we'll find out what he's up to. However, right now, we're going to take our first little break here, and after the break, we'll come on back with the National Report from the GIS.
Can I have a chicken lunch, please? Large.
Real nice today.
I don't want that.
But you just asked for a chicken lunch.
I don't have problem with the lunch. Afraid the container.
What is the problem with it?
These styrofoam containers, they don't good for the environment. They shorten with life.
What foolishness you telling me? So what you want me to use?
Put my food in this.
Where you get that?
At the food fair, where you could get all biodegradable food boxes and disposable food supplies like cups, plates, anything you could think about. Name it, it's there. And they don't harm the environment. Food fair, taking the lead in cleaning up and protecting the environment. Hey, like you take me advice, you get in your biodegradable food supplies.
Well, girl, I supporting who's supporting the environment. That is why I shop in at food fair.
Food fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets. Products distributed by Hubbard's agency, Kirani James Boulevard.
So, babe, Alberto and Beryl come and gone, right? So that means we still have Chris, Debbie, Florence, Michael, Patty, Sarah.
From the looks of it, Tony and Valerie might be coming as well. So we need to pick up some extra hurricane supplies.
You don't know how many hurricanes will be coming this season, so you need to be prepared. At Hubbard's Hardware and Building Supply departments and the Food Fair supermarkets, everything from canned foods, flashlights and batteries, to plywood, tarpaulin, lanterns, roof repair kits, water tanks, etc. are available. For over 90 years, we've helped you prepare for and recover from storms. Hubbard's is an integral part of your hurricane preparedness plan. Get discounts when using credit and debit cards.
Grenada Market has now introduced the prime products to online shoppers in the UK via amazon.co.uk. Zebrapick, Nutmeg, Wabande and Mobiback are now available, with more products being added gradually. These products are shipped across the UK and Europe free of charge for Amazon Prime members and backed by Amazon's reputable customer service. Avoid international shipping. Buy in your local area. Amazon.com in the USA, Amazon.ca in Canada, and Amazon.co.uk in UK and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Easy living should be convenient. With Grenneck, it is. Dial 237 for any Grenneck department, or for customer service, streetlight outages, or if it's unsafe to trim a tree near a power line. For streetlights and service issues, please note the pole number. From just about anywhere, you can also check your bill balance and other account information. Just keep your Grenneck access number handy. Dial 237 for Grenneck. It's that easy. Grenneck, energizing our Grenada.
Government moves to improve the practice of conveyancing. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Monday, September 17th, 2018, I am Rakisha St. Louis. Government moves to reduce the search period for land deeds and titles under the Conveyancing and Law of Property Amendment Act 2018. Amendment to the Principal Act means that the period of search needed in order to determine good root of title to land will be 30 years instead of the common law period of 60 years. Minister for Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the Arts, Senator the Honorable Norland Cox, says as it stands now, the Deeds and Law Registry is chaotic. During a meeting of the Upper House on Friday, he said with the amendment, government will be rectifying the issues of lengthy and inconclusive searches for title deeds and several complaints from landowners. Grenada will join several Caribbean islands who have similar experiences and who have reduced the search period.
We are seeking to make this amendment to go back to 30 years. The reason for that, Mr. President, why are we seeking this amendment? Due to a number of unfortunate incidents, like for example, during Hurricane Ivan, some of the records have gotten damaged from water damage at the registry. And as such, that render some gaps within the period in which you have to search. So in some cases, when you go back 40 years, there is nothing there, there is a gap. So you might get something 50 years, you might get something 30, some you might get 40, some you might get, so there are gaps in between. So you cannot really complete your search properly.
Senator Cox recommended the adoption of technology at the registry, adding that a computerized system will provide further checks and balances for the process.
We recognize the most ideal thing for us is to have a computerized system. This would require significant investment on our part. This will require extensive work in terms of doing topographic maps and having all this registry built. But we believe that what we're seeking to do today, this amendment, is a step in the right direction to remedy the situation currently. But definitely, we will definitely have to move towards what you call a registered system where no searches would not have to be done. It will be much more easier because everything is up to date.
The amendment was supported by Senator the Honorable Winston Galloway.
30 years is pretty safe. We have information that will guarantee in quote-unquote terms that you can establish title. But I look forward to us moving the bar, and very shortly. There are other means around that you can establish title without using this 30 years. We talk about a registration system. But we need to get there.
Senator Cox highlighted that persons who acquired lands and titles under the Possessory Title Act of 2015 will not be affected by the amendment made under the Conveyancing and Law of Property Amendment Act 2018. Officials from the Caribbean Court of Justice, including former President Sir Dennis Byron, will address the first public meeting of the CCJ Advisory Committee at the Deluxe Cinema in Grenville on Tuesday. The meeting will be held to create greater awareness on plans by Grenada to accede to the CCJ as this country's final appellate court. Prior to the meeting at the Deluxe Cinema, which starts at 6 p.m., Sir Dennis will meet with students of the T.A. Marisha Community College at 10:30 to discuss the benefits of being a member of the regional court. In preparation of the referendum, persons throughout Grenada believes that this is the opportune time for Grenada to transition from the Privy Council.
Yeah, I mean, it's about time. It's long overdue. We should be there because, get out of the British thing, and so we are all one Caribbean, and I think that will be binding us more together because we have CARICOM, so we should have all of that in one, with the thing. Because they are good lawyers too, and good judges, West Indian people. We are capable of handling our own.
I'm going to say do it. Vote for CCJ. That's what I go say. I don't know for someone because everybody have for them one opinion. My opinion, I say go through. For me, I say go through.
I think it's a very good thing, because they home here, right in Grenada herself, and we could see everything what going on. We could know everything what going on. We could just use our phone and then we could tell when the case go appeal. Instead, we they in jail suffering. I never been in jail. I don't want to be in jail. But I find now this is a very good thing. If we could get it like that, we could really appreciate that.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
The house was shaking. Then started story here, babe. Crack, and the roof had gone.
Man, I was so scared, I nearly wet myself.
Only those who have lived it can truly understand the devastating fury of a hurricane's wind.
The house across the road just get up and roll over.
Hurricane force wind. It's a hazard. Hazards. Take control. Reduce your loss. You can hurricane-proof your home. For example, make your roof more wind-resistant by using screws instead of nails in its construction. Find out more about hurricane force winds and other hazards at your local disaster office.
A message from the National Disaster Management Agency and SEDERA.
Welcome back. The government of Grenada has recognized the exploits of CAC World Heavy and Super Heavyweight Champion Damian Daniel, who has been flying the Grenada flag in the field of bodybuilding. An award ceremony was held on Friday at the Ministerial Complex, organized by the Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the Arts, partnering with the Ministry of National Security and Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. Damian started out as an amateur and is now a qualified professional bodybuilder, capturing more than 10 gold medals from various competitions. The bodybuilding champion, who is originally from the parish of St. David, has contributed to the exposure of Grenada in the diaspora as he excels in the sport internationally. He says his achievement is a testimony of hard work, discipline and dedication, not just in the sport, but in life generally.
Being here, it's really started from something which was a tragic, which was really like a negative way into a positive. Me losing my mom, this was a way for me to just really come out of the negative into the positive, where I just started to like lift stones and batteries as a way to just stay on the positive really side. You know, and I just want to say to young persons out there, at times you really feel like giving up. There are a lot of avenues where bodybuilding definitely could just shape you and take you from the negative way, bring you into the positive. It is not an easy journey to just like go out to represent Grenada, but when you really have the backing of the people, your family, your friends, it definitely is always a pleasure just going out there and represent Grenada. So I just want to say to all my friends, family, thank you for all the support from all over the years, for being on board. When I really fell down, you never really gave up on me.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell praised the bodybuilder for his humility and commitment to the sport.
You will see this young man around and you will not know who he is. He never shows himself. He accepts victory and you would not know that it's somebody that's performed that well. It's very simple and humble. He had a lot of trials and tribulations in meeting his goals. And he never complains. Sometimes I have to ask him, how are you making it? And then he would tell me, well, the problems he's having. You know, knowing the successes that he's had, I genuinely believe we did not treat him the way we should.
Minister of Sports Senator Norland Cox promised that government is doing its best to secure the necessary support for sportsmen here in Grenada.
We are going to do everything that we can. We are going to do our best to see how we can support the athletes. We have some unique situations that is just coming to us. We don't know how we're going to address it as yet. But the most important thing, we are committed to see how we can solve it. So we want to say that. I want to wish Damien and the Federation all the best going forward. I know that you have a tournament coming up soon in November in Spain. We wish you all the best on that, and we are going to do everything we can to support you in that regard.
That story just brought the curtains down on the national report for today. Let's recap the top story. Government moves to improve the practice of conveyancing. On behalf of everyone who made this newscast possible, I am Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
If you wanna check the grand like balance on your phone, or report a faulty line near your home, if there is an emergency, take out your phone. These are 3 numbers that you should know. 237. Call me anytime, I'm always on the line. 237. Just call me anytime, I'm always on the line. 237. company. Strength and stability. Grenadian General Insurance Company. Tell your friends, tell your family. We cover householders comprehensive. Motor and even fire too. Contractors all risk burglary. Public liability. Professional indemnity. Directors liability. And wait, we still have more. Come and find out more what you're waiting for.
We are located on Scott Street, St. George's. For more information, call 440-2434.
Tell everybody.
Grenada Market has now introduced the prime products to online shoppers in the UK via amazon.co.uk. Zeberpick, Nutmed, Wabande and Mobiback are now available, with more products being added gradually. These products are shipped across the UK and Europe free of charge for Amazon Prime members and backed by Amazon's reputable customer service. Avoid international shipping. Buy in your local area. Amazon.com in the USA, Amazon.ca in Canada, and Amazon.co.uk in UK and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Alrighty, folks, it's now, let's see here, it's 27 minutes after the hour, and if you take a look here, you're going to see that smiling face. Look at what I mean. Mr. Ray Roberts is back in town. Good to see you, Ray. How are you?
Pretty good, no complaints, except the traffic on your street.
The what?
The traffic on your street.
Oh yeah, Woolwich Road is a madhouse in the morning, especially around 8 o'clock. You're lucky you didn't have to come here. You want to learn how to cuss? Come and stand out here about 8 o'clock.
Well, I could see it.
Yeah, it's insane. Hey, listen, man, how was your trip?
Well, it was, let's put it this way, it was a hectic go and a hectic come forward.
Yeah.
And then a long 3 days of meetings, but very useful because it provided the opportunity for the Paralympic family, 190 countries, to examine how we are doing business. But even more important, because first world countries are way ahead, a lot of emphasis was placed on, let's call it the third world countries, the emerging countries, and how they can do things that would perhaps, if not catch up, but be as competitive as first world countries. So some of the things that we hopefully would see them implement, programs that were meant that you had to go to the United States to qualify, you have to go to some part of the world that is extremely expensive, bring the qualification process closer to home. Because, as you notice, well, we have facility. It may not be the facility for Paralympics, but we can find ways to improvise.
Okay.
So some of our people can get the opportunity. Obviously, there are standards, but clearly, if you have to raise $5,000-$10,000 to go to Canada, Cuba, or Mexico, that in itself is a daunting prospect.
Yeah.
So many positives. I thought it was a very good meeting.
It must have been nice to be away from Grenada for a little while.
All right.
I'm sure you felt good being away for, what was it, about a week?
Well, the thing is, I still had to keep a check on what was going on because, well, my mother wasn't that well, so you had to keep a check and see what's going on.
Is your mom here?
Yeah, she's back here actually, after many years out there.
Well, Ray, there's been a lot going on in your absence. First of all, thank you very much for that article that you sent to me about the Integrity Commission.
Good.
I don't know whether or not you heard it. You're probably on your way here this morning, but I read it on the air at the top of this program.
Right.
It's also published on the website, so if anybody wants to go, they can take a look at it. I want to touch, we don't have a lot of time, but I want to touch very briefly on those two things. That and what's happening down at Grand Nance. I see the guys were very active at Grand Nance on Sunday. Yeah, Randall?
Well, I think, again, Grenada is becoming, to me, a very lawless country because there is no need for what is going on there. There are statues that were inherited from the colonial era, and they are appropriate, I must say. Not everything the colonial people did was bad. That was an appropriate way of creating an avenue that people know where their boundaries are in terms of the beach and where people can use the beach. So I would see that as a necessary intrusion And I hope the government will certainly institute the laws. There is no need for favors. So quite right, I think the people who are, those of us who are making noise, I think it's a justifiable cause. And that's the only cause that there is. There's nothing else to it.
I think people are still waiting patiently to hear what the Department of Planning, is that what it's called?
Well, I think they are caught in a bind. I think, unfortunately, they have been very ineffective and they are called upon to play a decisive role now. I think they know what the role is. I think it's the politicians as usual. I mean, politics in Grenada has been a curse more than a good to me. And I think that's the problem. Because, you know, I am on the beach. I was there. I wasn't there this morning. I was there yesterday morning. And people were constantly coming up to the top of the Silver Sands to see what this thing is about. And they seem question, why are you putting that there? Is it necessary? It is one of the most used beaches in Grenada, along with Bartwe. So clearly the billionaire investor knows that very well. That's where people from across Grenada come and find some pleasure.
Well, I'm sure we haven't heard the last of it, and I do expect that we're going to be hearing a lot more. By the way, just let me say a quick hello to Chester, who's out there in Switzerland. I see that Keeve is also with us, and also Harry Gibson, the whole mob. Let's touch very briefly, Ray, on the Integrity Commission.
Right. Well,
you have a lot to say about that one.
Well, that's correct, because you see, it's like Trump. Trump beats up on Mueller. That's the investigator into the Russian connection. He's independent, he's a Republican, and he's doing this thing. And here's the fairness. Both sides agree that he is a good guy. But the president says, no, he shouldn't be there. So you have the government of Grenada says the Integrity Commission will do the investigation. The chairman of the Integrity Commission is the spouse of the Attorney General, who's in cabinet. The auditing firm director is a member of the commission, but he has recused himself. The head of the FIU, his wife is in cabinet. The commissioner of police is appointed by the state. I mean, come on, that's I mean, Grenadians are really accepting trash. I mean, trash that should be flushed in the toilet. I mean, I don't understand how any sensible nation could make common sense out of that one. I noticed some people who I sure the brain not really working, saying the people must be given a chance to provide us with with whatever the investigation shows up. The point is, you don't wait to do such things because of your connection to some things. You just withdraw yourself. If you had appointed an individual, a retired judge, or whoever it is, I mean, people like me and others had to wait. We would not have been fair to him. But this one, quite clearly, nothing is going to happen. I mean, the truth is, there isn't going to be any conclusion to that in a hurry. That will be stalled forevermore.
Well, you know, I know a lot of people are not going to be happy to hear this remark being made. You know, when I say that Grenadians deserve a lot of what they're getting because they're seeing all of this happening. There are a lot of activists out there who are talking about the things that are going on in this country unabated, and they just sit back and say,
well, they say they pray to the Lord.
Pardon me?
I met a lady on the beach yesterday, said she puts everything in the hands of the Lord. So I said to her, well, then he shouldn't give you any brain. He shouldn't give you any physical strength, because the reason why he made us to serve a purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is what I think is missing in us. Are we serving the purpose that we as Christians, human beings, supposed to, because we all have a role to play. As a parent, you have to groom your children. So as a parent and someone who is a participant in the wider society, you ought to take principal positions.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I don't know. I'm a little bit concerned about the direction in which we're headed, and I do believe in prayer, but I also believe that this is happening to teach us a lesson.
Well, you're right. But I must tell you before I conclude that I want to salute President of the TUC, Andre Lewis, for his thoughtful comment. I know it wasn't easy for him to stand up and say that, but what is the rush in the CCJ?
Yeah.
What is this rush? Public education, great, but is there an express train that we must catch today, or we get left economically or socially tomorrow?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, George, I hope we tell people that not everybody going to go to the CCJ. It's a selected series of cases that are going to get there. You're not going to get there for stealing a mango, and you're not going to get on your laptop or your computer to what Alexis says. You're going to have the chance to stay home on your computer and contest a case. Well, I wait to see that.
You know, I don't know whether or not you had the opportunity, but recently we have done a number of series about the CCJ. On Sunday, we had a gentleman in here by the name of Jerry Edwin. Did you see that?
No, I missed that
Well,
one.
I'll tell you, that's something you can't miss. It's being talked about all over the country right now and outside of the country. And go to the GrenadaBroadcast.com website, and right on the homepage there, check out Sunday's edition, the last Sunday's edition of Sundays with George Grant. Very, very powerful stuff was said there. Then yesterday afternoon, we had Dr. Francis Alexis in here. That's also up on the website, and he debated the CCJ with a gentleman, civil society activist by the name of Dave Ned.
Okay.
And we're trying to set up another debate between either Ruggles or Dr. Alexis and Jerry Edwin, because I think that's going to be very interesting.
Okay.
So check them out. There's a lot of stuff coming. And I guess we're going to be hearing a lot between now and November.
Well, as I said to people, my mind is made up. I'm voting no, because there's no need for an express train to the Caribbean Court of Justice. So guaranteed that my work right now is to get people to join me, to take a civil approach. Yes, we need it. We will have it. No doubt about it. But we ain't good with no express train.
Okay, Ray, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. And just let me also say good morning to Earl Joseph Maitland. He says nothing ever happens with the Integrity Commission, and he's just put something on there that says a petition should be done to remove all the persons in position that have appointments or conflicts. Thanks a lot, Joseph. Thanks a lot, Chester. Thanks a lot, Keith. Thanks a lot, Harry. Nice to see you guys this morning. Let's take a little break here, and we'll come on back and wrap it up.
Grenada Market has now introduced the prime products to online shoppers in the UK via amazon.co.uk. Zeberpick, Nutmeg, Wabande and Mobiback are now available, with more products being added gradually. These products are shipped across the UK and Europe free of charge for Amazon Prime members and backed by Amazon's reputable customer service. Avoid international shipping. Buy in your local area. Amazon.com in the USA, Amazon.ca in Canada, and Amazon.co.uk in UK and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
So, babe, Alberto and Beryl come and gone, right? So that means we still have Chris, Debbie, Florence, Michael, Patty, Sarah.
From the looks of it, Tony and Valerie might be coming as well. So we need to pick up some extra hurricane supplies. You don't know how many hurricanes will be coming this season, so you need to be prepared. At Hubbard's Hardware and Building Supply Departments and Food Fair Supermarkets, everything from canned foods, flashlights and batteries, to plywood, tarpaulin, lanterns, roof repair kits, water tanks, etc. are available. For over 90 years, we've helped you prepare for and recover from storms. Hubbard's is an integral part of your hurricane preparedness plan. Get discounts when using credit and debit cards.
Conveniently located in the Grand Shopping Center, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store. Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair Grenada will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, you know. Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
Alrighty, folks, that's going to do it for the Tuesday morning edition of Gudday Grenada. Thank you so much, and thank you to our buddy Ray Roberts, who's always there for us. And later on this week, you'll be hearing from the likes of the Flying Turkey, Alan Baczynski, and I'm not sure, we'll also try to get Tevin Andrew on there tomorrow morning. And I certainly look forward to seeing those of you on Facebook and everywhere else who've joined us this morning. Thanks a lot for coming along, and goodbye, and may the good Lord bless and keep you always. Okay? Oh, by the way, I'm not actually going to let the cat out of the bag, but I want you to know that this coming weekend, we're going to have another very, very interesting program for you, especially for those of you who've been following closely what's been happening with the CCJ. Sunday morning, next edition, Sundays with George Grant. Take it easy.